Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Agajanana Padmarkam Gajananam Aharnisham Anekadam Tam Bhaktanam Ekadantam Upasmahe. Welcome to all for this session on Ganesha Purana to chapter 89. In the previous chapters, we have seen how, for the sake of birth of Khanda, who would finally going to kill the Jamantaraka, the Devas played the game of uniting Shiva and Shakti, Shiva and Parvati. And for that, since Shiva was deep involved in the austerities, they invoked Madana, Kama, in order to disturb the senses of Shiva. But then Shiva, once his senses are disturbed, came to know that it was all the gameplay of Kama, and then he burnt him by opening his third eye, which reduced Kama into ashes. Quite naturally, even we too get a doubt that if Kama was burned to ashes on that day by Shiva, how is that Kama pervades all over the world and he still rules over all the men and women even today? Now, the same doubt came to sage Vyasa, who asked Chaturmukha Brahma, I've just heard this brief narrative about the Vrata pertaining to Gajanana, O Brahma. But if Madana was burnt by Shankara's angry fire, how is it that everyone can even now could able to see Madana and the whole world is ruled over by the Kama or Madana? Tell me this at length, O Chaturmukha Brahma. Then Brahma replied to him, when Hara angrily opened his third eye, Rathi went to Hara, having realized Madana's offense and still lamenting over the dead Kama. After bowing prostrate, she eulogized him as seemed appropriate. Rati Devi then told to Shiva, I bow to the god who is Girija's companion, who has a bull on his banner, an eye on his brow, that's in between the brow, the third eye between the brow, who protects the world when he is filled with sattva, who creates the world due to the rajas quality, Lord of all, who at his own volition destroys the universe, the great Lord whose body is filled with darkness, who carries a human skull and eats people's arms, who fulfills everyone's aims, illustrious Mahesha, who is compassionate towards the miserable, extend refuge to me, whose beloved has gone, because she lost her husband, Rama, who is now burned to ashes. The noble minded God who on earth can produce something, undo it, and can change it, for me who has come for refuge, you must vigorously foster my success by enlivening the dead. If not, O Lord, I will render my fame inauspicious by giving up this particular body. In this way, she eulogized Shambhu, who became pleased and spoke to her. Shambhu told her, O illustrious lady, lovely wife of Kama, choose a boon. As I am satisfied with your eulogy, I am going to grant all your heart's desires. After hearing Shiva's speech, Rati was delighted and bowed to him. Even though she was terribly hurt, she spoke to the god, wishing for success. O Lord, if you are pleased, listen to this excellent speech. There will always be hosts of sensuous women in heaven, the earth, and the underworld. Never must they have a portion of my loveliness, O three eyed Shiva. Once having seen this very woman, the resplendent gods ejaculated their semen and were embarrassed. Drive away the great shame I also experienced because of that. Without Kama, my husband, my loveliness is worthless, O Shankara. He is disgraced and has been burned, and of me it is said This Rathi is a widow. Lord, O Lord of the gods, enliven me by giving me a husband, O ocean of compassion. And in this way she solicited Shankara, who prospers the beings, rejoicing, he spoke in a gentle voice to Kama's wife. O lovely lady, don't worry. You shouldn't be embarrassed, O young girl. Simply by you recollecting him, Kama will become visible for you. He is called mind born because he is thought of in the mind. Because the Kama basically generates in the mind first. He will fulfill your desires and you will become highly thought of because when he will be reborn in Lakshmi by Vishnu, your husband will become famous among people under the name of Pradyumna. He will live illustrious woman. Now you can go to your home, as Shankara has told. Later, he was born to Krishna and Rukmini when they took an incarnation on the earth. At Shiva's command, she went to her own very beautiful home. Then she recollected her husband, but he appeared before her without a body. By the force of the Lord's wish, he became visible before her, and Rati, marveling, rejoiced with her husband. Then Ananga, Kama was called as Ananga because he lost his body, but he was still standing in front of Rati. He went to Shambhu, and after bowing, he made this speech. Ananga or Kama, he told to Shiva, being without offense, now how have I come to be without a body, O Lord of the gods? The gods, led by Indra and the sages, were oppressed by the demon Taraka, and knowing that Vishakha, that is Shanmukha's birth, would occur because of you, they requested me to interrupt your steadfast condition. I did this particular deed for the benefit of everyone. The merit equal to that beneficial act does not exist in the whole triple world. Yet, because of my destiny, O Lord of gods, it has become unfavorable for me. Previously, I was the most handsome of the 33 myriads of gods, and everyone took me as the measure of a handsome man. How then, O Lord of gods, can I exist when I am bodiless, as if I am dead? So, Mahadeva, kindly extend your favor to me. Shiva gave the one syllable mantra of Ganesha to the bowing Ananga and instructed him in personal service. That means perform the austerity and recite that single syllable mantra of Ganesha. Then Ananga went to the delightful Janasthana, which gives complete success, and there at Shiva's direction, Kama performed that personal service. While engrossed in meditation on Ganesha, he performed austerities for a full 100 years, reciting the single syllable mantra and only ever eating air, that is, breathing only the air all the while, accompanied by Rati. Because of that, the illustrious Gajanana, god of gods, became pleased and manifested himself. He had 10 arms, was adorned with a large diadem, armbands, and delicate earrings, splendid as flashing jewels. He resembled a myriad of suns, was ornamented with a pearl necklace, was wearing celestial chaplets and clothes, and was smeared with celestial fragrances. His face possessed a reddish brown trunk with vermilion on it, and his hands glittered with 10 weapons. His navel was enclosed by Shesha as an ornament, and he was resplendent with many ornaments. He had the shoulders of a lion, was very splendid, and terrified everyone with his sounds. When Gajanana manifested himself, the sages and gods led by Indra came with nymphs, yakshas, kinnaras, and heavenly musicians to the accompaniment of the sounds of God's instruments. One by one, they devotedly worshipped the god Gajanana with the 16 forms of ritual practice. Then, having got up, bowed to all the gods and all the sages, Rama first praised the god's feet, then he lauded the god Vikata, who practices compassion. Rama said, "You are the most auspicious of the gods. Your real appearance is that of the Supreme Brahma, and though you are without form, you have appeared in a form, O beloved of the devotees. Now my birth is auspicious, and my austerity is very auspicious because I have seen your pair of feet, which free one from all evils, and the cause for every success, and gives accomplishment in liberation, sensuality, wealth, and the law. Now both my eyes are auspicious because they have seen that supreme man and the supreme deity. The followers of Vedanta, Sankhya, Yoga, and so on do not know him, thinking silently, he is not this, he is not that, and they only think and they have not seen the supreme deity. Even the Vedas are stupid in respect of him. He is the Lord of all, and the pores of his skin are the endless myriads of creations. He has appeared because of this mantra, hence, this mantra is indeed auspicious. Ganesha replied to him, "Well said, O husband of Rathi. Brahma and the rest do not know me. Only when I have taken a form for you do they know me, and it is only through my favor that you have seen me, O Kama. Since I am completely satisfied with your austerities and your mantra, choose all your wishes from me, and I will willingly give them, O Kama." After hearing the god's speech, Manobhava, the one who forms in the mind, spoke again, and to him who gives wishes when pleased, Kama narrated in due order the entire course of events that brought about by Shiva of his becoming body of Kama becoming bodiless, and then the Rathi's lamentation, the mantra given by Shiva, the personal service performed for a long time, and the boon that the Shiva gave. Then he chose a boon from Gajanana, who was very pleased. Kama asked, "If you are pleased, O illustrious God, give me a lovely body that all the gods will esteem, one which is as lovely as it previously was, and rock solid devotion on your feet and victory over the triple world." Thus ends chapter 89 of Upasana Khanda of the glorious Ganesha Purana, in which we have seen that Rati was lamenting with Shiva for the sake of getting back her burned husband Kama, who has been burned down to ashes. Then, after seeing the pity of Rati, Shiva was pleased and told her that whenever she calls for Manmatha or Kama, she will going to get him. And then the satisfied Rati went back home, though Manmatha or Kama was always appearing before her whenever she asked for it, but he was bodiless. And then Kama himself went to Shiva, asking him what mistake he has done, because he was only playing as an instrument in the hands of the Devas, and that too for a noble cause of birth of Skanda, which led to the killing of Demon Taraka. And then Shiva told him the only one who can fulfill his wish was Gajanana, and gave him the single syllable mantra. Later, Kama came down to Janasthana, where he pleased Gajanana by performing severe austerity, and then Gajanana appeared before him. When he appeared, Kama asked him that he would like to have his body back, and he wanted to have the same old, most beautiful body which was not available to any of the gods. Namaste Sharada Devi Kashmir Puravasini Swamaham Prarthaye Nityam Vidya Danancha Dehime. Goodbye.